Hi everybody, let's take a look at another 706 look-alike, but with lots of different things within it. This model was manufactured by Pi of Cambridge, now a branch of Philips. This was in the 1960s and it was used for their electronic switching systems. It was based loosely on the 706. Look at the actual phone itself, we'll pick out some different things. The first thing you'll probably notice is the bell. One coil. One coil there. It's a standard type of bells, as will be fitted to a 706. It's got a capacitor, which a 706 has, and in fact, if you look at the end of the capacitor, I think it's showing it up okay. I hope it does. If it doesn't come out, it's actually got GPO on the end of the capacitor. Well, Pi was also making phones for the General Post Office, and also in the write-up about this phone also shows one with the same type of capacitor with GPO on the end of it. So it's not a marriage, it happened to be one that they had available when this phone was made. You'll notice the cradle is totally different. The spring set that operates it is underneath. I'm just hoping this is coming out okay, because I haven't used my high intensity lamp. I think it will show up okay. Where you would expect to find a regulator plugged in, you don't. It hasn't even got any electrical contacts. It's there, the actual castings for it, but they're not there. It's got parts of the circuit. This would be based on the Mark I, I believe, of the 706. Meant it had a hard-wired as opposed to a printed circuit. There we have the induction coil, anti-side tone induction coil. We can turn the case over, and looking at the case you'd say, God, it's a 706. But look careful. Circular plungers, not the square types that you would see. And looking underneath, they're affixed to it with those screws. So the screws you see on the top don't hold the actual case on. They're held on by the two lugs in the front, which is standard, and two screws at the back. So the quick way of telling whether you have one of these phones is to just look at the back. There are other subtle differences, like mentioning the plungers being circular and chromed. In fact, I believe they're actually a better design than the BT ones, but nevertheless it's slightly different. Now the case itself, as far as I know, is identical. You've got your numbers round the outside. It's a two-tone grey, which was a standard colour that was used. Coming to the handset, also the standard 706 type handset. You've got the transmitter, this is of the old style. Same type of transmitters on the other phone I put up. Just hoping it's showing up all right. And the receiver is of the rocking armature type, which is also standard for this phone. The other thing that is totally different is the dial. The dial is in fact German. I'm not taking it completely apart. It's got the old plastic cover which keeps the dust out. It clips in like a normal BT dial would, but it's not an English made dial. Made in Germany. It looks very similar to some of the Ericsson dials that I've seen. Whether it was made by Ericsson's or Siemens, I don't know, but I'm not going to take it down any further to see. So if I was to say it was a German dial, I think the rest of the stuff seems to be the normal. Now I'm going to stand this back in because I want to turn it over. I partly clipped it in, but not completely. I have now. Now these are held in by two lugs in the front and a screw at the top there which holds it in nice and firm. And the front of the dial is a standard looking dial but is different. Notice there is a space between the finger stop and the O, which would be O, yeah, that would be O there. So there's a gap. BT phones do not have this gap. You see it on this phone is quite normal. If you see it on a 332, then the likelihood is it's an Indian made 332. I digress. Now we'll turn it over, see what's written on the base, if there's anything on there. It's always good to look at the base. T89. It looks like the only thing that's actually written on the base. You can see where these screw holes are not used. They would be used on a 706. It's in fact the same base, but made for this model. It's plastic, heavy plastic, and it's like I said, hardwired. Quite a nice little phone. It works fine on a BT line. Don't see any problems at all. Let's have a little look at the... Oh, there's a diagram there as well. Should have turned it around earlier. There's the diagram. I'll hold it on there so it comes up well. It's a very simple diagram, not complicated. It's just got your basic bits. Obviously, transmission transformer, the Aztec, receiver and transmitter, dial and dial off normals. There's no regulation on there that you'd find on the 706. It wasn't on this phone. So there's the diagram. I hope that comes out okay. I think it will. I'll turn the case round. I mentioned it's got a different type of bell. And this tells you how to adjust the bell. 1806 is the... Is that 1806 or 1807? Yeah, it's got 1806 on there. Yes, it's 1806. I'm number blind, so if I get the number wrong, you know what's wrong. There, it's in black and white, it's 1806. And this tells you how to adjust the bell to give a loud ring or a soft ring. And that's all adjusted by that screw, which I'm not going to touch. Probably see it there. The screw. Anyhow, that's all for this time. There's the, I'll show you the thing that holds the case in. It's a little sort of saddle type device which fits in and clamps on the rear, which is those two there, if I get it in the right position. So all in all, nice little phone, and anyone who sort of picks up the odd phone, you get a chance to see one of these on eBay or wherever. You might even see it at a boot sale. Grab it. It's worth putting in the actual collection. The ends of the wire, which is on the floor now, ended in spade terminals. In those days they didn't have modular plugs. Spade terminals which would have gone to a little block terminal. Anyhow, that's all for this time. Once again, thanks for watching. Any comments please make, any questions please make. Please subscribe, please like, and all the other things you do on YouTube. Thanks again, many thanks. Thank you.